Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So I moved and I'm in my own home that my husband and I purchased. Yes, we are living the American dream. And so because of that reason, you guys haven't seen me in forever. So I completely understand if you guys are upset, like, where's Jenell? We haven't gotten any pregnancy updates or postpartum updates or whatever. I understand, but I'm really sorry. I had so much going on. So I wanted to give you guys an update because I know the last update was probably eons ago. And as of today, Elle is 15 weeks now. So I know it's been a while because I'm at 15 weeks. Like, that's crazy. She's almost 4 months old. Like, that's insane. So I'm trying to remember some of the things I talked about at the very, in the very last postpartum update. But you know what, let me just tell you what's going on, you know, currently. So I am no longer breastfeeding exclusively. My plan was to breastfeed for as long as possible, but I started realizing that my work started getting in the way. Like, I find that for me, because a lot of my work is in the home, that it's very convenient to maintain breastfeeding. But then there are many times when I have to work outside the home, and I had a few extended outside of the home job opportunities. So in order to support my family, and I gotta work. So I basically was away from my baby and my family, of course, for more than 2 days at a time. And then it was very challenging with the pumping going on. It was really challenging. Like, I went to Atlanta and I shared a picture on my Jenell B Stewart Instagram, and I was like in the hotel room pumping. But my day began like early in the morning, and finally I was in Atlanta and I was able to pump, and it was like late in the afternoon. So things like that were happening, and it was becoming really challenging to maintain exclusive breastfeeding or pumping and all that. So I've decided to wean Elle off. And you know, I'm totally open to anyone who has, you know, any comments or whatever to say. Like, I don't want anyone to feel like you can't say whatever you want to say about my decision, but I don't want to be judged. That's the only thing I can say is, like, I don't want to be judged. Feel free to share with me, you know, your feelings about breastfeeding for as long as possible, or if you understand what I'm going through, that's totally fine. But don't judge me because it's already done. Like, I'm weaning her off and we are not breastfeeding anymore, and there's nothing that anyone is going to be able to say that's going to change that, because at the end of the day, I have a responsibility to my family, and if I don't leave my baby for days at a time when needed, we can't afford the luxuries that we have and the comforts that we have. So basically, like I said, I am done with the breastfeeding exclusively. I still do nighttime feedings, but of course, because of the fact that I'm not doing it exclusively, my milk production is shot, which is fine because now I don't have to deal with the discomforts of letdowns and things like that when I'm not with her. But if you were wondering, even though you stop breastfeeding, you still have milk in your breast. So, you know, in the middle of the night, like when my husband's warming up the bottle, she will nurse on me and I'll have a letdown and she'll get some milk, but nothing enough to satisfy her hunger. She still needs her bottle. So that's what we've been on. Elle's schedule is perfect. I don't remember exactly at what week it happened, but there was a certain day where Elle was really sleepy, and she was very cranky. She was irritable. She was hungry but not hungry, like at the breast and fighting with me. And I was like, you know what? Let me just put her down. And I just put her butt down and left her, like just left her in the room, in, you know, a safe environment, of course. And then within a couple of minutes, she just fell asleep. So I was like, good. So she was just really exhausted. She slept like damn near the whole night, woke up at like 3 a.m. I nursed her and when she was finished, I put her back in her bed, and she slept till 7 o'clock in the morning. And pretty much that's been her schedule ever since that day. We've been in the house now, like I said, I moved. I think I said that right. We've been in the house now since late April, and it's late May as I'm filming this video. So it's been about 4 weeks. And she had this schedule already set up prior to us moving here. So it's been a couple, it's been a little while now that she's been maintaining this. And she's great. Like 7 o'clock comes around, I give her bath, I give her a bottle, we put her down, and she sleeps until about 3 a.m. and she's good. And that's it. So it's been really great, because of that. Like, I think also what makes the whole situation a little bit more great than it was before when I was talking about it was because I'm not breastfeeding. While I absolutely love breastfeeding and I love the bond that I have with my daughter, and I also love knowing that I'm providing her with every beneficial ounce of liquid that she needs, and I breastfed my son, so I totally get the value of breastfeeding, but once you stop breastfeeding, you realize that you have so much more free time on your hands. And so with my son, I only was able to breastfeed for 3 months because I had to go back to work. And so even though I didn't have to like go out into the workforce technically this time, I still was only able to do it for 3 months. But once the time passed and now I'm not breastfeeding anymore, like so much time has been freed up because I'm no longer sitting for an extended period of time, 40, 50 minutes to breastfeed. It's more like 10 minutes, like to feed her with the bottle. It's not that much, not that long. And also, breastfed babies eat frequently, so I'm no longer having to deal with her needing to eat every 2 hours. They're really spaced out. In the daytime, she'll take a bottle in the very morning when she wakes up around 7:30, 8 the latest, and then she goes to sleep around 9. She'll sleep from 9 to about 11ish, sometimes even 12. So she has a very long sleep period because she's drinking formula. She wakes up around 12ish, let's say the latest, and then she'll take some more milk and formula, and then she will go back to sleep sometime around 1:30 the latest. Like, I've never had really her up past 2. Yeah, even though she had just slept for like 3 hours, she still goes back to bed around 1 o'clock. And then she sleeps again for several hours. But then in the later part of the day, she's up a little bit longer. So she'll probably wake up around like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I always remember because it's almost time to go pick up my son JJ from school. And she'll be up from that point until 7 o'clock to go to bed. So she's still an infant, she's not really a newborn anymore because she's almost 4 months, because newborn is like 0 to 3 months. So she's still an infant. So her schedule right now is very normal for her to still be sleeping all the time. But it's different because if it was breast milk, the sleep probably wouldn't be 3 to 4 hours. It would be like 2. But when I was breastfeeding, her schedule at night was still the same. So the schedule at night has nothing to do with the fact that she's getting formula, because I was breastfeeding exclusively and she was going to bed at 7. Remember the story I just shared with you about her being really sleepy and I just put her down? That was while I was breastfeeding. And she's been great. Yeah, like I'm really in a good place right now because of, all the blessings that have been bestowed upon us. But I haven't been able to focus on my weight loss efforts like I was in the very beginning because of the move. So I don't remember exactly what I was prior in my last weight loss update and things like that, but I will put all the details about like my weight loss on the screen so that way I can also refresh myself in addition to refreshing you. But currently I weighed in today and I was 227, and I had lost more weight. I had gotten down to 223, but I've slowly been creeping up. So I've gained about 4 pounds from my lowest thus far. But this app here, it's called Lose It, and it shares with you my weight, 227, how many pounds I've lost, 43, and you know, days to my goal. So I plan on getting myself back into the groove. I've moved, like I said, and I joined the gym that's nearby here, so it's really close. There's no excuses just because I'm like in a different environment that I can't go to the gym. I'm still gonna get my workout on. What else? What else do I need to talk about? I'll show you my belly. Right now it is after midnight, so I can't show you guys Elle. She's sleeping, but I'll put pictures, no problem. And you should definitely check out my Instagram and Facebook for more pictures as well. And I don't know what else to talk about. I can't think about anything else. The major thing is that I'm not breastfeeding. That's really like super major. Yeah, so let me show you my belly. I have on a top body shaper. It's like a t-shirt, but here's my belly. So you can see like it's definitely flattened up like tons. But because I haven't been losing weight or working out, I still have my love handles. But you know, that's gonna go once I start getting back into the gym and stuff. And this is the side. So, and I showed you in like my last video, like you can see where my abdominal muscles are peeking through again. But because of the stretching from the baby, you know, this is still very loose. So we gotta work on that. All right, well, definitely let me know if you guys have any questions or whatever. Share your comments, they're always welcome. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye. With the working out in the gym, but there's only so much I can do because I still have to keep my calories up to produce milk for my baby. So I'm gonna keep trying, but what I'm